You're listening to the Give 'em Heaven Audiocast, Episode 1. All right, you guys have made it. This is Scott Herrin, and this is the very first episode of Give 'em Heaven, my audio podcast. So glad that you're here. Glad that you could make it. This is kind of a get to know you, feel out sort of what it is that I'd like to do with this time. We're going to have a great time together, and I'm really honored that you would join me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here. I don't really know how long I want these things to be, so if you have any ideas and you'd like to make a comment, please make a comment if you like them longer, shorter, all those kind of things. Right now I'm kind of thinking maybe short and to the point and kind of quick. I just trying to feel out what it is that I'd like to do with this medium. So anyway, we haven't gotten to the point of being able to process all of our podcasts, put them in a hosting site, and have them go to Apple iTunes and Spotify and all that yet. But we are knocking those things around. We're kind of starting to hash out those things. And as part of that, I wanted to go ahead and get my feet wet and start doing this. So I'm glad you guys would hang out with me and enjoy this time that we have together. So first of all, I want to say really quick that I sure do appreciate the intro music. That guy that does that, his name is Nick Layton. He is fantastic. You should go check out Nick Layton. He has got some stuff on Spotify. He's got some stuff on Apple Music. It's under Firewolf, and it's Firewolfe, Firewolf. And he also now is playing guitar for the band Q5, so he's really excited about that. And I'm excited for him. I hope it goes well, and so glad to hear that that's all coming together. As we speak, we're getting ready and looking forward to working with our audio feed team. We're putting the audio feed group together. We're almost completely finished with the roster, and now we are starting to line up how we want to do the speaking, the more technical things. Where do we want to put the stage? All of that kind of stuff. What we would like to see happen and take place as audio feed goes that way. We're really excited about audio feed. It's a great time for us to get together. Great time for some really great music and all of that fun stuff. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. So that's part of some housekeeping things. It's kind of going on the front burner as we speak, and kind of going on, under the radar. It's happening. So looking forward to putting all those things together. That won't be long, and it'll be on us. We'll be going. So we're looking forward to that. One of the things that I think I would like to do in the near future for this audiocast is maybe take some of my really early podcasts, my video podcast, and convert them to audio format. That way, some of you could hear some podcasts that I've made that maybe you've never heard before, and get some of the old stuff. Of course, when it comes to my old early stuff, there's a lot of it I won't even listen to anymore. I don't care for some of the things that I did in my earlier podcasting days, but I would like to revisit some of it. And if I don't re-record it all together, I may just put it here in audio form. That may be an option for us to do. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about trying to possibly meet up with some guys while we're at audio feed, maybe have an interview or two. I'm not sure about that, how I would like to do that yet. But, I want this to be a place where I can share, off the cuff. It's not polished. It's got all of my blunders and stuttering in there. You guys, I stutter. I don't know if you guys know that very much, but I do. It's something that I've kind of dealt with all my life. And I really was kind of made fun of whenever I started talking about going into the ministry and preaching, because people would say, "Oh, there's no way he'll ever be able to preach. He stutters too much. He makes racket whenever he tries to talk. He ums and ers, and it takes him a few minutes sometimes to get the ideas out of his mind past his lips." So that's true. But it's okay, because God uses what God wants to use. Listen, I can't tell you how excited I am and how blessed that I am to have the opportunity that I have to, be in anyone's life. The fact that anyone would listen to a podcast of mine at all blows my mind. And I'm very honored and gratified that people would be interested in doing that at all. I mean, really. So the fact that God chooses to use me, if a lot of people listen to this, great. If only 2 people listen to it, then that's fine too. It'll be fun between me and those 2 folks. So that's what we're going to do. I was warned. I had someone that warned me, let me know that audio podcasting is a lot different than the video podcasting. You're going to have a lot of people listen to your audio podcast your video podcast, but you won't have many people listen to your audio podcast. People don't tend to share those. People don't tend to listen to those, and it's kind of one of those things that you just you kind of have to know on the front end that it's probably not going to be a very popular thing. I was kind of warned about that, so I don't really have any expectations here. I don't know if people will listen or not, but I do hope that someone is blessed by it. And the fact that God chooses to use me, and if he gives me a platform, if he gives me an opportunity to share, that's what I want to do. I want to do just those things. So I probably will to go ahead and revisit some of my earlier podcasts during this time. And that way, if I have any questions or anything about those things, I can maybe even make corrections on my own podcast. How about that? So that's kind of what I think will happen for the near future that I foresee happening. And if that happens, that's great. And if it doesn't, then that's okay too. As far as where they will be stored at for now, I'm not even going to store them on the Sanctuary International YouTube page. I'm going to put them on my personal page because they're really unpolished, and I only want the stuff to go there that is the best of the best. So until we get all the kinks worked out of it, I'm going to store it on my own personal page. You're welcome to subscribe there and click the little bell so you'll get a notification if I put up a new one. I will also probably load them to my Facebook page. Maybe I may keep this thing a little bit more toward the YouTube page. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. I would welcome your input. I would welcome your suggestions, that you would have. That doesn't mean I'll necessarily follow all of them, because, I get some pretty crazy stuff every now and then, people wanting to suggest things like jump off a cliff or, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff we get, but we get them. So anyway, I would welcome your input and your suggestions. So for what it's worth, there you have it. This is what I would like to do. This is what I'm looking forward to doing for the next little while. I hope that you will join me. I hope that you will be along for the ride. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it with you for today. Thank you. If you have any friends that you think would be interested in this stuff, please go ahead and share that along with them. And then we'll be ready to hit the road running, okay? You have my word that I'm going to try to give you some good content, to chew on. And then from there, what you do with it is up to you. So there you go. For what it's worth, let's all go out there and we're going to do what the podcast says. We're going to give them heaven.